This video is brought to you by Strepsils, who have literally saved my life through COVID. You might have been able to see some of my COVID updates. Thank you so much for all your support and the nice words that you've shared with me throughout my journey. And guys, Strepsils, they saved my life. Well, at least the friends who sent me these Strepsils. So yeah, big shout out to my friends who looked after me when I was sick. Thank you so much for being there for me. And with that being said, I am back. I've recovered, I've turned the corner now, and so I'm making the video. This is what I look like because, well, obviously a lot of crypto millionaires, they look like hobos. So I decided not to do my hair. Anyway, I talk too much. And what better way to come back than to do a Floki Inu update? And with that, of course, I am the most open-minded investor / NFT artist on YouTube with a diverse appetite for risky asset classes ranging between shopping centers and shitcoins, but not government bonds, creating contact-led, family-friendly, cookie-accepting, cat-free, technical and specialized tutorials and guidelines to harness the generational wealth transfer found in crypto trends. And I'm also a believer of Jesus Christ and a fan of Gary and an extremely well-educated and multilingual Korean, but with hair naturally curly than the average Asian male and highly coveted by many moms and daughters, also known as him. And today we are jumping into Floki, the people's cryptocurrency. What the hell is happening? People are saying stuff like, we don't believe you, never gonna invest in Floki, but we've always had that. We've always had haters, you know, haters gonna hate. Now, with the price doing this, right? Boom, and then it just crashing down. We've covered a lot in this channel how much Floki has crashed. But that's cryptocurrency at its finest. Look, I can do a coverage for you guys on Bitcoin and everything else. You know, it's hard to see that Bitcoin has a big correlation against this graph here. But Bitcoin obviously has not much of an impact on this price. It wasn't necessarily mooning either. But this is the chart for Floki. But I want to show you a different chart, okay? It's this chart over here. Do you guys want to have a guess at what chart this is? Right here, okay? This is a chart that from its maximum down to the very bare minimum was a correction of 93%, right? This chart is, of course, Dogecoin. And this was back in 2014, okay? And I'm about to show something crazy. You are arguably here, right? You're here. You're basically here, right? Doesn't really help that that's the color of that is white, but you're basically here. That's where you are. That to me is more exciting. When the price is up here, you're going to hear everything good about the coin. It's going to go to the moon. It's going to do so well. Everyone's loving it. Blah, blah, blah. Down here, it's going to say, oh, it's going nowhere. It's going to die. Blah, blah, blah. And then bam, and bam, the next cycle happens. And this is what happens. Bang. And they didn't even the beginning, right? That's what happens right there. Boom. Right? And instead of you investing at the top here to the very top there, that's a 779% gain. But if you invested at the bottom here, if you just wait a bit longer, that's 8,000%. That's almost tenfolding your gains. Not to mention, okay, let me zoom out even further. Oh my goodness. What even is that? Went all the way up to 70 cents in our bull run. So guess what? I started talking to you guys about Floki, well, sort of around here. Yeah, well, like I get it. It's a good time to be alive when that happens, right? But I've continued my coverage here. Here, we're all throughout its downtrend, showing you guys the opportunities where you could have made money on the small bounces, not to mention, you know, the trading is a bonus. If you don't want to do it, guys, you're just part of a big picture, right? Just like we've seen it in Doge, right? If I go back to when I scribbled, you can't even see how much it is because it's so squished, right? It's so squished. So even that moon day was still far above it. So when Bitcoin goes up and the market adoption comes in, you guys are still way too early on this cryptocurrency. Dogecoin. Look at the Dogecoin follower base on Twitter. It's 3.1 million followers. We've got, 300,000 followers on Floki. So that's pretty good. We're going to go through some updates on Floki. So there's a partnership with Open Leverage. There's a permissionless lending and margin trading protocol for DEXs. And the partnership makes it possible to margin trade Floki on DEXs. Great partnership. They haven't finished yet. They're still going. Altcoin Gordon, right? He says you can now long or short Floki here, but I wouldn't bet against the Floki Vikings. Means that this is a bullish post, right? He shared a little something. Who the heck is Altcoin Gordon? Well, he just happens to be buying altcoins low and selling them high since 17 years old, always looking for undervalued gems, and voted Twitter's Trader of the Year 4 times, 2017 to 21, right? So good. And he's got 399,000 followers, which is more than the followership of Floki. And then bang, Huobi is a Chinese word for currency, right? Huobi, it's a tier 1 exchange, and they've just listed Floki. It's going to go to the moon in 2022. Maybe it's this year, maybe it's later on. But I would much rather you guys invest your money down here. Right. Similarly, the correction that we've seen, right? If history is any indication of repetition, that is a 92% correction. I think this is the bottom. You want to buy low. That's how you make money, right? Let's say your cryptocurrency was at 90 and then it goes up to 99. You made a 10% gain. But what if then it went down to like 5 first and then went up to 99, okay? And investing here to here, obviously, or hodling through that period, hodling right? We'll get you that 10%. But if you buy it at 5 and it goes up there, well, that's almost a 20x gain. You see that? It's actually better for you to wait patiently, right? Floki, I think, is going to be around. It's going to complete the, the trilogy that is the dog-based coins, which is your Doge, Shiba, and then your Floki. That's what it's going to be. So Floki, guys like Altcoin Gordon is seeing great opportunities in this market, which is great. Huobi just listed the coin, and so it's going to be one of those meme coins that has now accepted the adoption from a tier 1 exchange, and more of these exchanges are going to come along, right? Which is amazing. Staking on Floki is available on Huobi now for 300% APY. More people are going to be holding this as well. There's more opportunities for them to hold this too. It's obviously another sharing of the listing on Huobi, which is amazing, which is great. We're also seeing some interesting updates on Valhalla, updates from Mr. Brownwell as well. He put a post up saying that if he gets 500 likes, then he's gonna do little leaks here and there. And so he's been leaking a little bit about Valhalla, as the post that he originally did had more than 3,000 likes. So look at the updates that are coming into Valhalla. Valhalla, with the adoption and the amount of people that are actually involved with Floki, they're going to want to actually get into this play to earn space, which we know is a proven model that works when it comes to adoption, right? One of the best ways to leverage on the viewership and the follower base of a cryptocurrency is to have play to earn, to actually have a metaverse. Not to mention, Floki is doing an aggressive marketing. And back in 2021, in October 19th, they said, we're going to be featured on 7 major US TV channels for a full month: CNN, CNBC, ESPN, Fox News, Fox Business, MSNBC, and Discovery. And what happens? Well, now Floki People's Crypto has locked prominent features on 7 major American television channels. These are them. They are. Boom. There it is. February 20th, right? It's all done. It's all happening. There was an ad that I was going to show you, but I've lost it. But there's like another 30-second ad that's coming through as well. So like, what has changed? There's nothing damning about it. I don't know. Like, Floki is a project that is just way too successful to not be worked on. The show must go on. When the show goes on and there's consistent updates coming from it, like, why would anyone abandon a project like Floki is what I want to ask, right? And as long as it goes on until the next bull cycle, if you like, right? When Floki Inu on Twitter is going to have 3.1 million followers, just like Doge does, right? Even if you did invest at the absolute bloody peak, like up here, are still going to be tasting some mad profits when it does moon out of proportion, right? I'm not saying it's going to hit 1 cent or nothing like that. I don't think that's particularly possible. But could we see the actual price go up to some crazy highs? And this is just the beginning of the very, very many moons that we're going to experience? Well, arguably, yes. And is this the right time? Yes. Because every single time it does dip. Just check out how much Doge dips every time there is a moon, right? So every time it moons, it dips from here to here. What is that? That's 79%. So not as much. The second moon, the dip there, that's 87%. So 93%, I'd say, is pretty indicative of where it needs to be. Having said that, it's a much more established coin. And how long did these cycles last for? Well, I look at this and go, okay, well, let's say we go from here to the next cycle. That's 1,000 days. That's about 3 years. So maybe invest now, and for 3 years you see nothing, but the updates will never stop. And Doge was a joke compared to what Floki is. Floki is actually, it's actually good because there's a lot of marketing that's happening in place at the moment. Doge arguably also is going to do well. If you look at the previous mean, that dip there was 39%. I wouldn't really call that a dip, but the current dip right now is about 83%. Do I think there's a good buying opportunity for Doge as well? Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? You can diversify if you're into doggo related coins. Diversify into Doge and Shiba and Floki are good things, but I think Floki is definitely one of the most prominent growth-based and high reward sort of coin that's available out there. And it's just made into that top tier level so that it's actually too big to fail now. That's what I see on Floki, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.